The first two periods of hockey, at least, did you see something that you've been looking for a while? Is that an example of how you want to play?
The first two periods I did like. I thought we did a lot of good things. We were faster, more direct. I thought our forecheck, hunting the pucks were much better. I think the score was a little bit skewed. I think things were going our way. We were getting the bounces. In the third period, I think the bounces were going their way. There was a lot of things I like. Often when you're up 5-1, it's thinking you're dominating them. And, I think we were just able to capitalize on a lot of the few chances that we had. In the past, probably about in the last month, you look at our goal scoring and we need more from guys. And, tonight, you look at, Arvidsson chipping in, Brown, Hyman, who's been a regular goal scorer for us lately, and it was nice to see him get his touch back.
Kris, what did you make of Jake Walman's statement?
I thought that was a heck of a start. The pass that he made on the Hyman goal, just the composure, breaking the pucks out. In the second period, he had that big hit. In the offensive zone, walking the blue line, getting pucks through. There's so much that we liked about his game. And, sometimes you, as a player, you have that adrenaline and you're really excited about that one. But, I think we'll see a lot of play like he did tonight. And that's why, our management thought very highly of him to trade for him, which I think is really going to pay off for us.
The physicality, is that something you expect to see more of? Do you think it can be a hallmark of his game?
I think he'll chip in. I don't think he's going to run out of his way. I think he's a strong guy, he's solid on his skates, but I don't think he's going to be running around. I certainly don't want him to do that, but, chip in with the physicality just with our team. I think everybody can. And, speaking of physicality, Jones, 2 games has really provided an element that we've been missing. Tonight he played about 8 minutes, 5 hits, very similar to the night before. So, adding a little bit of speed and physicality, which is good for our team.
Kris, you look at the Nurse with Walman. Is that a pair that you want to give a run together with?
I think, there's a good likelihood that those two will be playing together, but I don't necessarily think that's a set pair. I think, when we get Eki back, Klingberg in the mix, I don't know. We have a lot of options, which is nice. He hasn't played much on the right side, but for a guy that hasn't played much on the right side, he looked pretty good at it. So, there's quite good chance that those two are a regular pair, but I wouldn't say that it's something that it's set.
Is there something to the idea of having 2 puck movers like Evan Bouchard and Jake Walman on separate pairs, so you have one out there for the top 2 lines at all times?
Yeah, I think that's important. I think it's important to get the puck up and into those guys' hands, especially when Leon and Connor are on the ice, because they're as dynamic and dangerous as anybody in the NHL. So we want to put them in a position so they can play to their strengths. To do that, you need puck-moving defensemen, and obviously those two are good at it. But so are Nurse and Echo. But anyways, I think it is good to have those two out there when those two are out there.
Kris, you mentioned that Echo unlikely to play in Buffalo. Do you have an update on Klingberg and where he's at?
He's like I said, he's day-to-day. I think he's very close to whether he's returning in Buffalo or one of those games in New York. And Eki's kind of that same timeline too.
You look at your blue line as a forward right now. A lot of guys that skate really well. Guys that can make a nice first pass. Like, you've been to the Stanley Cup final, you see what that looks like. How much does that shape of blue line maybe fit just for a team that wants to move the puck and such? What sense do you get from that?
I think everybody can do that. And even the guys that you mentioned or hadn't mentioned, I think they're still pretty good at moving the puck. I think the best defensive teams are the ones that can keep the puck out of trouble. So many scoring chances come from turning the puck over, and you're playing without that defensive structure because there's a turnover, and it's so important to be able to make the plays. So that's part of the defensive side, and obviously in the offensive side, majority of 5-on-5 goals come off the rush, that's usually starts with a breakout pass, and most breakouts start with the defensemen. So, you know, we feel very confident of whoever we dress, that we've got 6 defensemen every night that can lead the charge. You know, when I say lead the charge, like make that first breakout pass so our forwards can hopefully create some more offense.
And do you feel like you've tightened that up a bit in the last couple of games, the stuff off the run?
I think we can still get better. You know, I think in the first 2 periods, I think that's where we did. I think in the third period, we relaxed a little bit, foot off the pedal, getting beat up ice a little bit. And then when you get a beat up ice, then you get some odd man rushes where, yeah, that's kind of how I felt. I don't think we made many mistakes, but I just think we were just a little bit slower than we were in the first 2 periods.